And here we are again. Welcome to the terrifically exciting world of Denizens. Ooh, hate intros. And so, let's start off as we always do with putting our fortune pool together. Now, Shagbot, would you like to do the honours and roll the sacrificial d6?
Indeed.
On a 1 to 5, it is yours, and that is yours. So I slide the token on. Poomph. On a 6, it comes to me. Righty, thank you. Ragrut. Do you want to roll a d6 and let's see how things go? Nice. Look how smooth and sleek and professional we are. Uta Rigna. Your turn.
2.
A 2. That is yours then. 3.
That's it, brother. Keep it up, brother.
Jabir, if you could just put that
Yep.
put that butterfly down and roll a d6, please. Thank you.
There we go.
Hey, nice. Okay.
Right.
Now, Ragrut, would you like to do a roll for Merilicious for me, so that I can't be accused of any naughty, underhanded dice rolling? Excellent. So, Merilicious the Hobgoblin grants you 1, and if you're still happy being Deputy Shazgith Utorigna, if you wouldn't mind doing one for thems.
Yep.
Sweet.
Good.
Blimey, it's all going your way. Okay. Now the observant amongst you might have noticed that we seem to have an extra person on board, but more of them and their character when they arrive. Now I need to roll one for the forces of good and evil. Oh, and it's for you. Look at that. All of them are yours.
Does the new character not have to roll one and all?
Nope, because he's not part of your group and he's not with you.
Okay.
You don't know who they are. It's a mystery. But you have, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fortune tokens at your disposal. And perhaps some would be so kind as I do admin and cut and paste things around. Try and give us an idea of what on earth we were up to, where we last left off. I'd be most obliged. Don't all speak at once.
So I can't.
Merilicious kindly opened the trapdoor for us, completely off his own back, and nobody shoved him through it. And then we found another ginormous door that Jabir took a marble bench and smashed the shit out of it to open it.
He did.
And then we bumped into some zombie dwarves that we kept killing, but they just reanimated, chumbawumbered their way up again. And then a giant demon came out of a sarcophagus, and we found that he had some pendants that if we could destroy the pendants, that would stop the dwarves. And then through sheer tactical genius, we kicked his ass and murdered him. No fluky rolls or no jamminess, just pure battle skill for all of us. Although Jabir, I think, did do his back in again.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Well, it didn't help really that Shagbot ran up the back of him to try and jump onto the demons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, at the back of Jabir.
Yeah, I ran up his back.
You used him as a ramp.
Interesting.
Yes. Now, We will then revisit this ancient crumbling dwarven temple slash, well, crypt, I suppose. Really, it seems to be more of a crypt than a temple, but it's an old ritual site, and finish off a little bit of where we were at, having defeated the very sorrowful demon, whose last words were something along the lines of, "Well, that's not how I thought that was going to go."
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. As I plop you onto the page now. Guestly, you may not be able to see anything because you don't have a token on this map, but you're not here, so you can just pretend that this is the inside of your eyelids.
Okay.
And you're asleep at the moment.
Sometimes.
However, for the rest of you, you should hopefully be able to see yourselves and the scene of the last little battle. We ended it in towards the end of the battle after you had paid to the hulking, very depressed demon of sorrow. Now there are a number of animated dwarven corpses remaining. One, if you remember, scampered after Merilicious, who had run away with the demon's trident. He's the only one who seems to...
away.
Yes. And this dwarf corpse is currently pestering Merilicious, who is repeatedly keeping it at bay with his sabre, the flat of his sabre, bashing it and prodding it, and is just, is there nothing that can be done about this awful creature? Help! Or secure!
Are we
still in initiative order?
Forget initiative, I'm not going into that. You feel free to do what you will.
I will stroll up to the demon and stamp on all the pendants.
Indeed, it's easy enough just to pull the sort of black iron chain from around his neck. It comes apart easily, and then you can stamp on the pottery runes. And as you do so, actually, for fun, roll a d3, and number 1 will get that one, number 2 will get this one down here, and number 3 will get the one next to Merilicious.
1.
Okay, so
Hang on.
the corpse that is sort of twitching away because of its injuries, is otherwise fairly lifeless, just dissolves into black dust. Merilicious goes, "Not that one! No, keep going!" as he's bashing away at this dwarf corpse. 1d2?
I'll stand on one.
Yeah.
Brother, do it properly.
Come over and start
Shove
jumping
you
up and
like
down.
you do.
Yeah. Roll a d2. Number 1 will get this one down here. Number 2 will get the one next to Merilicious. Oh, of course.
God's sake.
Yeah, and you crush that runic pottery sort of like symbol, and you see this sort of almost a blacky bluey green gas escaping, and then in front of Jabir's eyes you see that dwarf corpse that is again incapacitated by its injuries just dissolving away into a scattering of black ash. And Merilicious goes, third time lucky! It's getting quite
I
difficult.
shove my brother out the way and step on the last one. Elbow him, just jostle him out the way.
And you stomp on the final one, and a blue-green gas sort of emits from the shattered remains of the pottery rune. And to Merilicious's delight and relief, the final zombie that was harassing him collapses into black dust and dirt, and he leans up against the wall, sweating profusely, clutching his side from where he's been injured before, with there's burn marks on him and cuts and bruises and scrapes, and Skyway, I am forever in your debt, Master Itarigna. Oh, and he sort of slides down the wall and collapses.
Wicked.
So why are we here? Why are we here?
Shut
You wanna
up! We're
explain?
just looking in here.
Why are we looking in here? We're supposed to be looking for that stupid rock.
I look in the demon's sarcophagus. I shove Ragrat out the way.
Is the rock in there, Master?
And look in there. What's in there?
Yeah, so I mean the hulking demon's body, you know, is easy enough just to sort of shove to one side, or at least get its leg off enough so that you can peer into the sarcophagus. Yeah. And you kind of expect there to be this infinitely huge long hole or something, because this demon is like 15 foot tall or something. There's no way it fitted in there. But it is just an ordinary sarcophagus. You know, it's about sort of 3-4 foot deep, and you know, there's some dust and some dirt. There's some bones, but nothing exciting. And
What about inside the other sarcophagus? Are there anything in these ones over here?
sure, you can start to go and poke around and have a look in.
Yeah.
Can I have a scrutinise of this? You know, we know what dwarves are like. They trap stuff and hide hidden compartments and stuff. And it looks like this one on the big sort of raised bit was like more important than the others.
Oh yes.
So can I like have a nosy at the? You know, I'll turf the bones out, just fling them out and see.
Yeah.
Is there any like hidden, I don't know, hidden compartments or whatever in there?
Yeah, have a scrutinise test for me and synergise whatever you think works.
And I'll get because Shazgath I think still has a torch going.
She does.
I'll get her to come and shine the torch in there, hopefully to give me an assist if she can do that. Or something.
Yeah, I mean, she comes over and sort of like holds the torch up and.
Cool.
Excellent. Shall I do a D10?
Yeah,
You have
I
succeeded.
fling the dwarf bones out of it. Just fling them on the floor.
Bug is going to slowly maneuver up, grab a bone, and come back.
Just chucking one.
Yeah, he's got a nice sort of like knuckle bone, and is content gnawing away at that. And to Rigna, you fling out the best part of what you suspect is a dwarven skeleton in amongst a lot of dust and dirt, and you do, as you are searching away with that success, come across a scattering of glimmering coins, some gold, some silver, which seem to have been laid to rest and interred with whoever was buried here.
Nice.
Altogether about
Pick up.
20
Got
gold
past
and 30 silver.
Okay. Maths, anyone? 20 gold
How
and
many?
30 silver. 20 gold, 30 silver. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 gold each, 4 gold each. 3, 4.
Many of us are
4
there?
gold each. 4 gold for each. I'll share them out because you know, I'm getting the idea that we are like all helping each other. You know, plus I can always kill you and take it back afterwards if I want to. So 4 gold each. What was it? 30 silver.
Yes.
So that's 6 silver each, is it?
Well, you're the one with the educate skill, so I presume that also means you're numerate.
Are we giving
Well, I
any
just
to
deal 'em out.
Malicious?
No, I don't give him any. He's doing a job. He's supposed to be showing us through.
He's not doing very well at it, is he?
Exactly. That's why he don't get any money. Our
Don't let
team
that
gets
hold.
money.
How many of us?
I tell you what,
It's 5 of us.
Ragrat. It's 5 of us. Yeah. I'll give because there's us 4 and Shazgood.
It's 4 gold each, silver each.
There. What are you
30
doing with the other
silver.
10
Oh,
then?
30 silver. Sorry. 30
This
silver.
so see that it's a
20
Rigner.
gold.
Brilliant role playing because you don't have the education skill, Shagbook.
Yeah. Shut up. Take no
6.
notice of him. He can't count
6.
anyway.
6.
Ragrat, I give
6.
you a handful of money on the condition that you heal my injury. Well, my wound. I'm a bit wounded.
Alright.
I'm here. You're the
Come over here.
surgeon.
You
Good
come
job.
over here then. Can't do
Okay.
healings in a death box.
Okay. I come and sit on the edge of the fountain, but I'm kind of sulking because I don't like you having to heal me up.
You don't like having to rely on Ragrat for anything.
God, no. No, definitely not. Come on then, hurry up.
Oh, I forgot I put all my skills in a nice little order. That's good.
Meanwhile, Shagbok, you have been looking through the other sarcophagi. I think that's right. The one you're looking at the moment that is already sort of like half collapsed in. Again, you're finding skeletal remains, look dwarven, more dust and dirt, and to shortcut the whole of this process altogether, you find a total of 30 gold and 30 silver.
I'll look around to see whether he's noticed.
I'm watching you. I know what you're like.
Yeah.
I share them out.
Money.
You've done the maths this time, brother. We need to
Yeah.
recount it.
It's very
Hang on.
pretty and all, but what we use it for? I don't get it.
And buy stuff
Where?
from
Um.
other orcs. Alright.
Yeah, I mean, in the past when you were living in Lugbers, you know, it wasn't uncommon,
Yeah, there must have been shops.
yeah, for there to be
I
some
don't
trading.
think Ragrat ever had any money.
I don't know what to do with it. You can buy stuff from me, Ragrat.
What you got?
I'll sell you this bandage to heal me up with.
I already got bandage. Can I use my determination talent to give me +10 to my heal roll?
You absolutely can, yes.
Now I'm moderately wounded. Does that affect? Because I know if you're lightly wounded, you can automatically heal it, can't you? But if you're moderately wounded, you have to do.
Yeah, you
Oh.
do, yeah. So bear with, let me bring it up. So when you're healing, yeah, you're absolutely right. You do a healing roll. Lightly wounded, you automatically succeed, but a moderate wound requires a routine, successful routine heal test.
Right. I'm just reminding myself of what I can do. So I've got the healing trait.
Yes.
I always succeed at getting bandages.
Yep.
When I successfully bind wounds to heal damage, a patient moves one additional step up the damage condition track positively.
Oh, nice. It's like you get a freebie move up the track.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm going to use my determination. So did you say moderate?
It's moderate, yeah. Can I give Ragrat an assist as well? You know, with a D10, like heal it. I've got heal as well. So if I just like help you, I do what you say. Put your finger there, and I put my finger on the bandage and whatever.
Okay. And I'll
first time I don't intimidate you into helping.
I'll synergize scrutinize.
Okay.
So, oh no, hold on. No, sorry, that's wrong. Sorry, hold on. Moderate. Which one's moderate? No, what did you say?
So if it's a moderate
Standard?
injury, it's standard. No, hang on.
Standard.
Routine. Apologies, routine.
Okay.
So you get plus
Routine.
10. Yeah, if it's serious, it's standard. If it's grievous, it's challenging. Moderate, routine.
Okay. And so, are you rolling to assist?
There you go.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
that'll give you a
So
D10.
what does that mean? I forget what that.
You got
That
20.
gives me did.
No,
So I've got
that
plus-
means you use that D10, that 2, to replace that 6, the
Yep.
10s. You get 20 instead of 60.
But I rolled that wrong, and I didn't add on the 10.
So
Okay.
it would have been
Right.
a success.
It would have been a
anyway,
success
'cause
anyway.
the target would have been 69.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you don't want me to roll again. Okay.
No need. It all works out in the wash. You know,
Okay.
tending to the injuries with bandages and maybe some of that font water, because it's the cleanest water you have had for a very long time. You're able to dress the injury appropriately.
So does that mean I get like 2 steps instead of 1?
Let me just... What is your intelligence bonus, please, Ragrut? The IB. You'll find it in the main page under the primary attributes.
It's 7.
7. Okay, so with a success, binding wounds, that's 2 steps up positively. Because of that special condition, that's actually 3, if that's possible.
It's awesome.
From the healing talent.
Exactly.
Trait.
Yeah.
Healing trait.
Yeah.
Right.
Brilliant.
Ooh.
I feel better.
And
See, Ragrat is useful.
Right.
Merilicious has been getting his bearings as you've all been, you know, resting and searching the interior of this temple. And he disappears for a bit and then comes back. And when he reappears, he says, "You know, I have completely got my bearings. We took a wrong turn here. We have to go the other way, but I know exactly where we're going now."
Yeah, I still don't understand why we came down here.
Like, can we just, people that are injured getting a line, well, people that are wounded, sorry, getting a line behind, like Shazgoth wants healing.
Yes.
Jabir, do you
Line
want
up.
healing, or is yours a Shazgoth will pile up behind you? Behind me.
I've got a twisted ankle, but that needs to be sorted.
That's an injury, innit? So
Yeah. So I think your damage track has probably reanimated its way back up to unharmed, but you still carry that injury. So healing an injury can be done. Yes. So you all queue up, and
Merrilicious as well, because he's injured.
He is a bit injured.
Well, he's wounded, sorry.
Yeah.
Will Master assist?
Sure.
Okay,
I
so are we at-
Shazgoth. Only because she cast that spell that made the demon drop his tridents.
So for Jabir's...
Is it all at routine?
Yeah, just telling you, here we go. For Jabir's injury, you're going to have to sort of splint up his ankle and provide a soothing compress, which is questionable dirty bandages and some water and a bit of a poultice made from things that nobody wants to know about. It's a routine heal, plus 10. How did we do?
So.
What did you do?
What?
Oh, 18, bloody hell.
How do I put the plus 10 on?
You need
You
to have
don't.
advanced.
I roll a D10. Oh.
Yeah, but you can.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
you-
plus 10 from my determination.
Yeah, from
You
your.
have
skill.
got plus 10. So your target now is 69 instead of 59.
Yeah.
Do you have put plus 10 on?
Have I?
Yeah, it's 10% more than it normally would be.
Is that because it's routine though?
Yes. So you would have an extra plus
I've
10
got
from
this-
determination. So if you have advanced rolls set up, it will ask you for. It will give you a mod option
Yeah,
in the pop-up window.
I normally get that, but I'm not getting that
Well,
for some reason.
let's just do it manually with the joys of maths until we can
Okay.
figure what's going on with your character sheet.
Okay, so that was a success anyway.
It was with Utarigna's help, but it's successful. So now that means you start the process of recuperation, Jabir. Now this is a moderate injury, I believe.
Yes.
So you want to roll a D10 plus 1, and that tells us how many days you're going to need to keep an eye on it to recuperate fully. Oh my god.
Ouch.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Oh, well,
Because
I'm afraid you're going to be carrying that injury for 11 days, so you can track the injury on your character sheet. I think in the
Yeah, I
combat
got it.
section. Yeah. And then you can do the same for Merrilicious, and I will.
And Shazgoth.
Yeah, and Shazgoth. Yeah.
okay, so here's Merrilicious. So that's a success.
Oh, that is magnifique. I've rarely felt such a gentle touch from a snagger. And then if you want to do Shazgoth.
Is it what are we at? Standard, routine? Is it all routine?
This is all routine, yes, because I don't think anyone's got serious injuries.
She's only lightly wounded.
Or lightly wounded, it's going to be automatic. Yes, so surface. Oh, you offer up a 5 with your help, so that takes it to a 58. Yep. Bearing in mind there's
That should have been 69 anyway. because of
69.
the plus 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
So that's definitely a success then.
Yep. So Shazgoth can go 3 steps up.
Oh, she's only lightly
So
wounded.
just up to
whatever.
full.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half maybe of resting and recuperation, and Ragra, I mean, you've probably exhausted your supply of clean bandages at this point. You're going to need to get hold of some material to make them.
I've
I've
around
got
and
2
see what I can
bandages.
find.
I'll give one to you, Ragrot, for healing me up.
Thank you. No, but these dead bodies, can I nick any like material off them?
They do have material, but I mean it's all rotting and dirty and putrid. Now I know you have a very...
in the fountain thing.
You could, yes, yeah. You could scavenge the best of the material, and totter over to the font back in the foyer, and sort of wash it and soak it in there.
Wash them out.
And then you can make bandages, and you've got your ability means that you automatically succeed in making bandages.
This eye is clever.
So if we're imperiled, does that go as well?
With imperiled...
After all this time?
Yeah, I think so, with the rest, and you probably get a little fire going, and eat what food and rations you have with you and share that, and keep a watch going and feel safe and secure. So yes, you can reset any stress you have to be unimperiled as you calm down.
So does that put you on unhindered?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Still don't really understand all of that bit, but
okay. Well,
is there anything while we're sat around with the demon? Like, what is it like? Can we take, like, you know? I mean, it's a massive thing. I don't want to take its head off and take that with us, but you know, a demon claw or a fang or something.
You could,
I'd hack one of them off.
All that there is to the demon are those two massive black iron devil's pitchforks, the big tridents. Yeah, I mean you can, hack off a ragged claw, which is pretty impressive, sort of like Memento.
Yeah,
nice.
And that's pretty much all that it has with them. I mean, I guess demons aren't the big ones for sort of personal effects from the looks of things.
Sure.
Has he got a little pocket watch?
No, he doesn't shop on Temu or whatever the demon equivalent of that is. Demu, yeah, absolutely. And so, what follows is something of a montage, as you are once more find yourselves at the tender mercies of Merilicious' expert navigation. Altogether, it is probably about 4 or 5 days before you start to see daylight again, the unwelcome glare of the sun. Thankfully, it's miserably overcast when you finally emerge blinking into this deep gorge in the misty mountains. It's raining, and you haven't felt, it's time for your annual shower. You haven't felt rain sort of on your face. I guess, of course, you could have taken those big tridents, lug them about. I think Merilicious will proudly carry one with almost like a banner of pride. But he moans.
Can Jabir actually wield it?
It certainly is wieldable, and I think we already sorted that out. He's got stats in his sheet, so yeah.
Cool. Oh, brilliant.
And you then Merilicious, as soon as you emerge into this gorge after a couple of days, says, well, if you are after the Black Fang, you want to head that way, and he sort of indicates the direction to take. It's about 2 days to make your way there. Be careful. Bon chance. Only, the agreement was I take you and show you the way out to here. Not to escort your sorry asses all the way to the Black Fang.
Right, bye then.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll clap him on the shoulder in a
Oh!
camaraderie way, if that's a word.
Oh!
Clap him on the shoulder and
Yeah. Thanks.
leave him to it.
Courage.
You know, we don't have a big sentimental goodbye, but a clap on the shoulder from Uruk is the most sentimental thing he's going to get, that we didn't just kill him now and wander off.
And he leaves with a great sense of relief and a minor injury to his shoulder. and heads back, and the last words you hear are some way back down in the tunnel of him going, now was it right or was it left? I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. And from there you can start to descend and make your way in the way that he suggested, through the mountains, and head towards Shaz's vision of the Black Fang. And she is, you've noticed over the last few days of travel, getting increasingly, she sleeps less than she normally does. She's increasingly on edge, sort of a nervous excitement. And she's at great pains to smooth her hair down, which is a terrible hair bear bunch hairstyle from being electrocuted before. She even washes it, as if she's expecting big things.
She's going on a date.
She's still got a wedding dress on.
Yeah.
Of course, she never removes it. Now,
It's not white anymore.
it isn't. No, I am now going to plop you onto another map shortly, as you eventually emerge after stumbling your way through these valleys and this gorge towards, after a long climb, the headwaters of the Enchanted River. And it's quite laborious, and you have to be very careful, because if you get anywhere near the Enchanted River, as you know, you just fall asleep and it's a bit permanent. Now I'm wondering if you have a particular order of travel as you approach into the valley, where the rushing headwaters of the Enchanted River pour over this promontory, and what you see rising through the mist of the waterfall cascading down towards the bottom is this massive black obelisk of stone, casting an enormous shadow over the little island that it sits upon and the large lake-like body of water that flows around it. Is there any particular order of your travel as you approach?
I guess I'll scout ahead like I normally do.
Okie dokie. So I shall
think
go way ahead.
After Ragrat, I think Shazgoth. I would just follow her, like this is her thing. You know, she knows what she's doing. There it is from her vision.
Yeah. I suppose I'll
I'd
be
stick close to her.
middle to back, I suppose.
Okay. Middle to back.
Oh, I'm limping along, so I guess I'm at the back.
Stay behind.
Lagging at the back as ever. Yeah. Now you can note on your character sheet, Jabir, that you've done, what is it? About 5 days, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. So only 6 to go.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right, just getting you all assembled. Now you are sort of like making your way down from the top of this rise, this cliff-edged rise, down into the valley where you see the island and the massive stone obelisk of the Black Fang, pushing your way through increasingly dense sort of like undergrowth and bushes and trees. And you start to see, as you are making your way closer to the massive Black Fang, a number of figures on the little island. There are, on this island, by the looks of it, a small snagger stood next to a rather imposing black-robed figure. You feel your hackles going up because he has a distinctly elven body shape, quite what he is doing on this island, with a small body of water in the way, with this little snagger. You're not certain.
Master, it's an elf. Elf master.
And
Can I eat it?
this imposing dark-robed, white-haired elf figure is on the shore, and next to him is, well, Lee, how would you describe your character? What does he look like, do you think?
He is a delightful little goblin, hunched over from years of sitting at a desk. Yeah, something like that.
Ragrat will look at him very suspiciously.
It's a gremlin.
And stood next to him is, as I've mentioned, this imposing, white-haired, black-robed figure. Garrett, would you be so kind to describe your character to us, please? How do they appear?
He is a man of contrasts. Black robes, dark eyes, bright white skin and hair. An albino elf. Yeah, sorry. Standing tall above this snagger that's next to him, who, as Lee pointed out, is already hunched over. I'm eyeing this group of other miscreants across the waterway with some degree of consternation. Do you know these people, Charles?
I've never seen these people before.
Perhaps you should initiate some kind of communication with them, being that you're one of them. If you see what I mean.
Thank you, boss.
Who the fuck are
I'm
you
not
lot?
your boss.
Who the fuck are you? What are you doing there on that island? Away.
It's our home.
None of your business.
Who are you?
You live there? Oh, that big black thing? That's stupid.
Better than being outside all the time, isn't it?
What?
When was the last time you had a hot meal, Snagger? Exactly. Yes.
What, you got one? You got one?
Oh, we have everything here. You just need to come across.
Yeah, right.
Now,
Why don't you come here? Bring it here.
I am not your waiter, little one. You know this is all role playing, by the way.
and delightfully done, I have to say. Now, close to where you are, Charles, there is a small coracle, one of those annoyingly round rowing boats, and you have recently sort of returned in it, but it is there, and you could, if you wished, sort of row over to the others if you wish. You have in your hands a leather satchel stuffed with all various roots that you have spent the best part of the last hour and a half collecting, having been sent out on an errand by the master, accompanied by your elven compatriot, who has been instructing you in the finer arts of herb identification.
Yeah, shall we go and see them? We'll row over and
If you wish, yes, why not? They seem very friendly.
yes, add more to our household.
Oh yes, very good idea.
Master, I don't trust them.
Oh, me neither.
No.
Have you ever met an elf that you liked?
Only when I eat them.
Obviously kidnapped that poor Snaga.
I don't know, he looks happy enough. Maybe we could just bash them if they get here. We could just bash them. Take their stuff. Kill them.
Do it.
Eat them.
Yeah.
See what they got.
Come on then.
Fry 'em.
So Charles, you step into the coracle first. You know, it's not much more than a sort of like oversized wicker basket, really, a round wicker basket. And you know, you are very light. I mean, you're only probably just a shade over 3 foot tall, maybe a little taller on a good day, but you are quite hunched from your protracted labours. And it barely moves as you plop into it. Caleb, you have to be a little more circumspect, because the maintenance on this coracle craft is very poor. It's a bit leaky, and it does sort of list to one side. You have to get the weight distribution just so, but you're fairly used to this, and you can sit there, perhaps a little uncomfortably, as Charles punts you across. Let me plop you onto the other side of the shore. And
do I sing row your boat as I go?
by all means, you can sing a nice little snagger song in dark speech, in black speech, of row your boat. Yeah.
How wide is this part of river, Steve, that they're crossing?
Yeah, it is, not terribly wide. It's about, as you can see there, about sort of like 6 yards across, something like that. So I'm not going to cause embarrassment for you, Lee, for your first outing by making you make a boating roll. I'll spare you that ignominy. But there is a certain amount of spinning around, and sort of like pushing off tree branches and so forth, and the roots that sort of like snake into the flowing water. But you safely make it across, and then you hop out and hold it steady as Caleb can disembark, and you can haul the coracle up so that it doesn't just drift off down the waterfall, which is the reason why you've only got one coracle left, because the other 3 suffered that fate before. and you stand now on the
And
more
Rag-
verdant shores.
Rag,
Well,
Rag
before
Rat wants
they
to just
get
go and
across,
poke
yeah.
it.
Sure.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna go and poke. I'm gonna poke the snagger.
Well, before they get across, can we shoot the elf?
I charged the elf because it's a natural enemy.
I'll shoot him as he's disembarking the boat, so he's off balance.
Okay. Well. Okay. Yes. Brilliant. Hang on a minute. Let's get a turn order up then. In that case.
I didn't realise it was actually fucking Caleb.
It actually is. Fucking Caleb. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. But I can't. I've got to separate the person from the character. So my natural hatred is elves, and my natural instinct is
that's what I
fucking
think.
kill. So.
Not quite sure what to make of that statement, to be honest.
Oh no, it's true. It's actually like nice to hear from you.
It's nice to be here.
So bit of a shock, I'll be honest.
How leaving that till a bit later.
Initiative. Where are we?
Stinking walks. 3 months of stinking walks. By the stars.
So I'm gonna 2 action points. Well, no, I'll have to 1 to load the bow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 1 action point to aim,
Mm-hmm.
and then 1 action point to plus 10.
Yep.
There's no other pluses for him being off balance or anything.
I think given that he's in the middle of sort of trying to extricate himself from this little coracle, as it's being held steady-ish by Charles, I'll make that a plus 10 on top.
Awesome. It's 20.
Woo!
Success.
Okay. So this arrow comes whistling through the bushes towards you, Caleb, as you are trying to extricate yourself from the coracle. Okay, so you let loose your arrow then, Utarigna. It has struck its target, and as Caleb is trying to get out of the boat, he is defenseless and cannot react. Your arrow strikes true. And you've got extra fury dice to add. Ooh.
Yeah, I've rolled 2 ones.
Oh,
But I'm going to spend a fortune point to change one of them to a 6.
Now, let me grab the fortune points because I was in the middle of sticking them on the map and then got sidetracked by events.
7.
You have got 7, yeah. I'm just going to grab them all. Just, oh no, don't do that. Wading past some Roll20 furniture. I managed to stick them on the other map, but not on this one. There ought to be some way of just carrying them around with you, really. Right, I'll put them in the water up above you. Can you see them okay?
Okay.
They're currently
Right, I'm
floating
going to flip
around.
one of those.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so that turns a 1 into a 6 and gives you another fury dice, right?
Yep, so it gives me an extra 5 points. And then an extra d6. Go on.
Nice.
Wow, another
8,
6! Explodey.
9, that's 14.
This could be a short cameo.
Hang on. Extra d6. Okay, so I get. So it's 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17. 17 points of damage.
Woof. Okay. So Caleb, I'll help walk you through this process. We'll go into your combat pad. So the total amount of damage, what did you say, 17?
Yep.
Okay, I've got to take off that mod because you have a damage threshold of 9. So that exceeds the first threshold, 17. It then exceeds the second threshold of 15, but does not quite get you to 21. So you go from being unharmed to lightly wounded to moderately wounded.
Oh, moderately. Right.
Yes. So now you get to roll a d6 chaos dice, Uturligna, and see if you get an injury.
Get a 6.
Oh,
Whoa!
6.
Nice.
Okay. Right, so you
Yeah.
draw a moderate injury card then. It's the bottom deck you want.
I will, and just to remind you, I have
Oh, 2 injuries.
2 for 1 injury.
No mercy. Oh my god.
No
One.
way.
Bruised ribs.
Bruised
Rib.
Okay, and
Free.
oh, I can't draw another one out.
Okay, don't worry. I'll. Oh, where did you put it?
I put it up here
Oh,
by the
top.
fortune points
Okay.
in the order.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring it down a bit so I can see it. You should be able to draw another one now.
What's it? Oh,
Extended elbow. Okay.
I'll just bring it down a little bit closer because.
Okay.
yeah,
sorry.
got it.
Okay, so the effects are as it smashes through your elbow, Caleb, and strikes you across the ribs, sticking in. Until fully recuperated, you must flip the results to fail on all actions in combat that rely on ranged weapons. Okay, so you're not going to be shooting a bow or anything, or operating your staff sling very easily. And
right.
until you're fully recuperated, you reduce your encumbrance limit by 3. So that means carrying stuff is an issue. So in your combat sheet, I'll pop in to help you. Bit of an assist. Now, your encumbrance limit, we will stick a mod on of -3. Okay, so that means that you now can't really carry anything encumbering more than you've already got. You're at your maximum. It's not having any other negative impact apart from that. But if you're planning on carrying the boat back or helping out or doing anything strenuous like that, you're going to have a lot of difficulty. Okay.
Well, it's lucky I have these horrible little things to carry everything for me.
So that shot strikes you, and you are moderately wounded and injured as a result.
Yep.
And we now go into the turn order, and it is the top of the turn, and you are the first to react, having received these
Right.
this assault.
Okay. And just to remind me, remind myself maybe, I don't know. I start with 3 action points. Is that correct?
You do. It refreshes. You've got 3 action points. Yes.
Okay, cool. So obviously I'm reeling from this straight shot of an was it arrow or crossbow bolt?
It was an
Arrow.
orc arrow, long with black
arrow
feathers.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll kind of remove the arrow if it's there, and yeah, I'm not. Oh man, I'll cast a spell.
Okay.
this is. I've got this feeling about me that this group of miscreants, of denizens, could be useful in some way. So I'm not going to kill them all outright. Not after we've just met each other. But what's happened can't go unaddressed, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I will put my thumb and forefinger together, raise them across my face, and pull them across my closed mouth.
I believe you're casting Hush, yes.
Casting a spell called Hush, indeed. Incantation first.
Yes, you want an incantation, and you'll get plus 20 to cast because this is another lesser magic spell.
Right, so that's in the trait talent bonus section, is that correct?
Yep, so you can put it to easy, or you can stick it in there. Oh my word! Nevertheless, it is a fail, unfortunately.
Well, there you go.
And I'm afraid you can't
You
draw
put it to
upon the fortune
easy.
pool.
Was it? I didn't put it. I don't know.
It doesn't matter if you put it in as that mod adjustment or whether you put it to easy. It's had the same effect, and it still would have failed because you raised it successfully to 72. Yeah.
Okay.
So you attempt to cast the spell, you draw the energy, but it sort of like dissipates. It's sort of like just beyond your grasp, and you cannot fully form the spell. And these words, the sort of like whispers, just sort of like echo.
Too physically perturbed by this recent damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one action point spent attempting to cast that spell. You've got 2 action points to spare, so you could use that to move or do something else. Just describe to me what you want to do, and I'll put it into mechanics for you.
Okay. Can I try casting another spell?
You can do, but you incur a multi-action penalty for casting multiple spells.
Okay, so the action points have types. Is that correct?
Yes, kind of. If you're doing more than one spell action or more than one combat attack, you can do that. It costs 1 action point for each typically, but then because you're doing more than one attack or more than one spell, you incur minus 20 for the second action. You should have had a minus 10 off the first one, but it doesn't matter. But a second spell will be cast at minus 20.
Okay.
Or you could move and also keep an action point in reserve as a reaction.
Okay then. Are there any trees nearby?
Well, more
larger. You know, you've mentioned bushes, but
this is the largest one here,
right.
just to your sort of like southwest. Yeah, it's about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 yards away.
Is that within my movement?
It is. Yeah, your movement, it's in the combat section, is 10. So you can move up to 10 hexes for 1 action point.
Cool. So I'll come down here.
Yep.
with the intention of hiding in the shade of the tree, or the dark, within the boughs of some, or whatever.
Excellent. Okay.
That would be it.
Very nice. And that leaves you with an action point to spare for reactions if necessary. Okay, so
Gotcha. Thank you.
nice one. Jabir, over to you.
Amazing. Stomp the earth.
Stomp the Yard kicks in. Absolutely. Okay, so this means that Charles and Caleb, as you see the arrival of this hulking 10-foot tall, slightly overweight, paunchy, limping, back-aching troll of Jabir, you both need to make a resist roll. This will be done at standard. So you want to have a look at your character sheet, Lee, for Charles, and roll resist as they provoke
Where do I find
fear. Yeah, so if you have a look in the main tab, where your talents and traits are, and scroll down to your primary attributes, you will find, it's actually resolve in the willpower section.
Rolled at, what did you say?
Standard.
Standard?
Yep.
Thank you.
Resolve.
That's right.
Just click on the word resolve.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Nice. Okay. So, I mean, both of you have encountered trolls before. In fact, Charles, back in the back in Sarngorowing, there's quite a few trolls that you're good friends with. Although this one looks to be in a very foul mood, and they're incredibly dangerous when they are in a bad mood. Jabir, Herpderp, perhaps?
Jazguth will assist him
Excellent.
because she's right there.
Nice one.
Focus, they're over there. Nice.
Nice.
Yay!
Nice. All 3 action
Done.
points are yours.
Amazing. Right. Do I have any large things to hurl?
Large
Up a
things
tree.
to holes.
Yeah, rip up
Can
a
you
tree.
throw that trident?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
It is a massive thing. I suspect you probably can throw it, but your range is going to be 1 plus your perception bonus, which is not terribly far. You did see where he went off to,
7.
but there is a lot of cover here, so you're going to have to throw it through the branches of the tree. It's going to make it a bit more difficult.
I got 2. It's fine if I miss.
If you want to do, yeah, you got 2, so you could prepare for multiple throws. Do the first one at -10, the second one at -20. Just stomping through the undergrowth.
Move.
Yeah, you've got line of sight. You can see him, but it's all obscured by branches and things. So that's going to make it more difficult. So it's -10 because of all the undergrowth and everything. And then -10 because it's a multi-action penalty for the first one. So you're chucking it at -20 for the first attempt.
-10 for the undergrowth.
Yes, as in all the plants and the low-hanging branches of the tree and so forth, making it more challenging for him to hit.
Right.
So you hurl it, but
Right, so that's a ranged attack.
it is indeed, and well, it's not an arrow, no, it is a massive black iron trident that, fortunately for you, Caleb, sort of is knocked off course. At least with that roll, unless you want to spend an action, you want to spend a
I would
fortune point.
Yes, I would like to go for a fortune point.
Excellent, mate. Yeah. So let's flip over one of these, and you can take a re-roll.
Nice.
Nicely done. Okay, so at first it looked like one of the low branches of this tree was going to deflect it off course, and then the sheer weight of this massive black trident, this devil's pitchfork it is, becomes apparent, and it just sort of blasts through the brush of the tree, and it will hit you, Caleb. Now you can make a dodge, or you can cast a spell, whatever you wish.
Okay.
Can you make a dodge if it's concealed in some way?
He can see it, otherwise he wouldn't be able to throw it to see him. You have to see him to throw him, so, and he can see it. He can hear it coming.
Yeah, the spells haven't been going very well so far, to be honest. So I'll attempt to dodge it. Yeah.
Yeah. So have a crack on that. So
is that in the primary attributes as well?
it is in the combat section, if I remember correctly. Next to parry, under initiative, is dodge there.
At standard, or do I get any?
It is actually. I think it's probably routine, because this is a thrown weapon and it's large, and probably I think has the property slow. I'm not 100% sure. I'll double check it.
Well, what's it based off? Is it a military fork or is it a trident?
It is a trident, yes.
Adaptable, finesse, and weak.
So not slow then. Okay, so in that case it's not routine, it is standard for your dodge.
Okay. Other modifier?
No other modifiers. Huh! So, I mean, it was hurtling true, but you are able to slip to one side, and then the trident strikes into the heart of the tree, just where you were, and sort of sticks into it and wobbles where you were just a moment ago. Jabir, I believe you've got a second trident to chuck.
Yep.
Okay.
On arduous, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see this.
Well, fortune tokens are plenty here.
Got it, yeah, let's use another fortune point.
Flip.
No.
It's a tough one. What do you think?
What do you think? Shall I go for one more, guys?
One more.
Yeah,
We've
one
got
more.
loads.
One more.
Yeah, one more.
See if we can stick this.
Come
guy.
on. Oh, crit! Fucking hell.
You're joking me. It's a crit. Okay, so now on a crit
Yes.
success, Caleb,
Beautiful.
and you don't have a reaction point left anyway because you just spent it on the last one, but on a crit you can't do anything about it even if you had a action point to spend. It slams into you. Now that means with a crit you're going to get an extra fury dice on top of it's 2d6 already because you're so big, so it's 3d6 fury dice and then your brawn bonus plus one, I think, because of the trident. Okay, so what's that?
Size matter in this case?
Yeah, not in.
Brawn bonus is 11. Yeah.
It is 11. So what you've got there, 19.
19.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything with those fury dice? With your fortune tokens? Or you want to leave them as is?
You know what? Let's try for a injury.
Oh.
Wait, do you want to turn one into 6?
Yeah. I'll turn one into a 6.
Yep, okay, so that is 8, 11, 19, but you're turning the 1 into a 6, that makes what, 24, and then it's 6 explodes, you get another 5, that's 29. Oh my god. Right.
Oh.
So Caleb, 25 is past the first threshold, the second threshold, and the third threshold, and takes you from grievously wounded to slain.
Oh, okay.
So, now, you are dead. However, you can spend one of your fate points and tell me how it is that you managed to avoid being slain but are simply grievously injured instead. Grievously wounded, I should say.
Could I have done that with the previous, with the arrow, for example?
You could have done, yes, but forgive me if we don't retcon quite that far back. I should have informed you of the mechanic earlier, mea culpa. And really, its best fate points are spent to spare death. That's their intention, rather than mitigate wounds.
Or alter in some way the previous events.
Yes.
Right? Like change the story.
You mustn't change the story too much. At this point, you can legitimately spend a fate point to adjust the narrative to spare you from being slain. You would still be grievously wounded, but your life would be intact.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously going to spend one. Thank you. So what I would imagine happens is that the trident hits me in the in the upper in the thigh, in one of my thighs.
It does indeed strike you.
Yeah. My leg kind of thing.
Mm.
Oh, of course, yes, absolutely, it strikes me. But knocking me down, causing lots of blood loss and stuff. But I'm not quite got yet.
Not quite got yet. In fact, those branches and those trees and that brush comes sort of like to your rescue. It sort of deflects the pathway of the trident somewhat. It hits you, but not with that lethal intensity that it had but a moment ago. So you are wounded, and it is possible now that you might be injured. So this is a grievous wound, so you get 3d6 chaos dice, Jabir. And if you get a 6 on any of them, you might get an injury, so we'll see the specifics.
No,
2,
unfortunately not.
a 4, a 1, no. I mean, I will point out to you, as I'm duty bound as an impartial keeper, that there are 3 fortune tokens sitting in your pool.
I will leave those for a minute. I will leave those.
Fair enough.
Save some for the rest of us.
Okay. And I believe that's all your action points spent, 1 on movement and 2 attacks, and that takes us to Ragrut. Ragrut, what would you like to do, witnessing
So
this all unfold?
I've gone up to the other little snagger.
Just holding onto the
I'm
boat.
just going to poke him. Stop poking him. Go, who are you? What you got in your pockets? Should I kill you? I can. I've done it lots.
Charles, talking is a free action. Feel free to
Charles.
respond.
Okay. Well, I'll.
Who are you? What do you want? What you got in your pockets?
I'm just a humble librarian.
What? A what?
I look after the books for his master.
Who's the master? That fella down there?
Oh no, he's pathetic compared to the master.
Oh. Who's the master then?
The master is the fellow that lives at the top.
That black thing?
Yeah,
What you got in your pockets?
nothing particular.
See stuff. You got herbs. You got herbs and shit.
They're not in my pockets, they're in my bag.
Let me have a look then. What you got?
I shall open my bag to show the herbs for the master, remember?
Yes. You
The
see,
master.
you see inside
Yes.
the bag that Charles opens. There's a lot of sort of lotus root and mandrake and other valuable, useful, herbal, naturally occurring items.
Where'd you get all this stuff then? Where'd you get it? Was it around here?
Yes, of course. We went looking for stuff. Just
Oh,
around.
should I kill you? Do I need to kill you? I'm very good at it.
Of course not. You can come and join us in the Black Tower.
So what is in the Black Tower?
Others of our kind.
Did you hear that, master? Not your master, the other master.
What?
Master?
What?
He says he's a librarian, whatever one of them is, and there's others of our kind in the tower, and there's some kind of master, and he's got loads of herbs, which are good.
Like herbs. Ask him if there are other elves in there.
Are there any more of those elves in there?
No, there are no other elves. Just that
So what's,
fellow.
why is he here?
Because he's one of our kind now.
He's a bad elf.
He is a bad elf, I guess you would say. Or good elf if you want to look at him that way.
I guess he'd probably still taste nice, wouldn't he?
I think he was soured over time.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, I think, well, I won't kill you this time. But you know, I'm not in charge around here, even though the rest of them are stupid. Don't tell them I said that. So, fuck knows what's going to happen here, basically. Well, you seem alright to me. Can I have a bit of one of those herbs? Master
I'm
won't
sure.
know.
I'm sure you can have a little bit.
Okay, so I'll just rummage through and take a bit of everything.
Excellent.
What have I got? What
Uh,
have I got? Let me write it down.
you grab a whole bunch of things. You've probably got sort of a handful of black lotus, let's say sort of like 3. You've also sort of like snagged, if you forgive the pun, some red cap mushrooms, 3 of those. And what else can I give you? Yes, 2 lots of mandrake root, which you haven't seen for quite some time. It's rare. A mandrake root can...
Have I got any of that?
Don't know if you have.
I think I've got any of that. I
Don't think so.
What does it
I've
do?
got some of that.
It will raise your peril threshold and basically make it easier for you to withstand stress and fear.
Right.
Shazgoth has some of that.
Hmm.
Cool. So Master, he says there's no more elves. It's just people like us and some Master and books. He looks after the
Okay.
books, he says.
What are you doing? Are you making friends with it?
I'm just taking some of his herbs. He seems alright.
Ask
Not
him
trying
if
to kill
he's
me or
friends with the
anything.
elf.
Are
Why
you
is he
friends with
hanging
that
around
elf?
with the elf?
Oh, friends? Oh, well. Yeah, sort of. Yes, he helps with us.
It's
He's part of the
to be fair,
part of the
to be fair, Charles.
community.
Apologies for interrupting, but it's more like he orders you around, really. But you have had some nice conversations, I suppose, a bit more upmarket than the average conversation that you get with any of the trolls or with any of the others. But largely, he just tells you what to do.
Is he your
Yeah,
boss then?
He's above my pay scale, yeah.
So Master, he says that he's not like the other elves. He's an elf like us, and he's higher up. He's quite high up.
You're talking
not-
too much, Ragrat. I don't care.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Is there anything you want to
If you
do
don't
gonna
want to
go
kill
in
that
there?
snagger, that's fine.
action point
Sure.
wise, Ragrat?
I don't think so. I
Fair
don't
enough.
see the point in killing him. He could be useful.
You could, if you want, wait, store all your action points, and insert yourself into any other point of the initiative, and/or use your stored action points to do reactions or help, if you want.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm just going to shout over to Master. I think we should go in there. Isn't this where we're meant to be going anyway? The Witch Queen thing?
Yeah, I mean, I look at Shazguth and, give her a nudge. Go on.
Yeah, she's looking in awe at the stone obelisk, almost entranced by it, and is clutching her necklace of the Witch Queen. Probably maybe even on her knees at the moment, really, having seen this vision come to life. But Tarigna, what would you like to do?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to elbow my brother. I'm going to get my knuckle dusters. And I'm going to do that on your marks, get set, go thing. And I'm going to wait until it's his turn. And then I'm going to race him to see who can get to the elf first.
So is that basically you?
They're gonna kill that elf.
Is that you in game mechanics terms waiting, and then
I'm going to wait, yeah.
wait until Shagbok's
I'm going
turn
to take my turn.
and take your turn just
And then
before
go.
Shagbok? Yeah, have a race.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have a race.
Yeah. In the meantime, Charles Dickens, the most well-read snagger in the known Middle-earth verse, what would you like to do? You've got 3 action points at your disposal, I believe. Actually, one thing you should do at the beginning of an encounter is roll a d6 for me, please, Lee. And that determines how many red-cap mushrooms you've currently got in your body that might be being helpful.
I forgot to do that.
You can do that now, Ragrat. 3. Okay. Right. So that's very helpful for you, Charles. I'm currently in your character sheet helping out, but I'm going into your combat tab. Now it's +3 to your damage threshold, so I'm putting it in as a mod. Makes you a bit tougher and a bit less likely to be hurt. And I think it's also +3 to your peril threshold. Makes you a bit braver and less likely to be stressed or frightened. What did you get for your... You get +2 mods into your combat damage and peril threshold, Ragrat. Yeah,
Me?
Yes, because you rolled 2 on a d6.
So, what's your name then?
Hang on.
My name is Charles.
Hang on. Sorry, Ragrot. It's Charles' turn. Give him a minute.
Oh, sorry. Ragrat's got chatty.
Anyway,
Very chatty. Yeah. Charles. Yes. You know. I mean, you've seen everything transpire. Well, this other snagger, albino, also. You note, pink eyes and very pale body.
I will. I'm gonna say to them, like, why do you not want to come and be with your brethren? Why are you attacking?
So you're trying to persuade those who can hear you, you know, to sort of stop fighting?
Yeah.
All right then. In that case, we're going to need a roll, and we're going to need something like. You can either do it in a sort of underhanded way and use guile, or you could try using intimidate and bully them into it. Which would you prefer, to use your low cunning with guile, or try and sort of shame them into it with intimidate?
And I'll try and intimidate with my pathetic size.
Okay, so you're trying to say this in a very forceful manner of authority. Yes. So
With guile, though, don't I get a +20?
I believe you do. Yes, I was going to say to you that probably your guile would be better because.
Yeah. So do I just press guile?
Yeah, if you want to.
Can I assist?
Oh, you want to help?
Because I'm standing next to him and I agree with him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could do.
They're all being stupid.
Yeah.
As usual, they're all being stupid.
Yeah, Charles. If you click guile for us, it'll open up a little menu.
You should synergize with something else.
Yeah, we'll set it in the drop-down menu to easy because it's at arduous at the moment.
How do I do that?
See the little drop-down menu to the left where it says arduous. You click that and then select.
No, I don't see arduous.
Oh, never mind. I'll do it. Now you can synergize a skill. What skill would you like to use alongside? Would you like to use maybe your awareness or your knowledge of orcs or folklore? What do you think you would use to try and maximize your chances?
How do I look at those things?
Just have a little scroll up and down the character sheet. You could use awareness, as in keeping a sense of where everyone is, or use your folklore, which you're very good at.
I use a bit of folklore. Yeah, I use a bit of folklore.
All right then, so we'll go back into the guile and we click this synergy button. Do you want to click roll skill? Can you see that?
No.
Oh, hang on.
To click on. Oh, did you do it, Steve?
I did. Because I think we were both in the sheet at the same time. It probably confuses the damn thing. So my apologies. But the good news is, you seem to be very persuasive. Now, everybody who's in earshot, I'd like you to make a resolve test. So, also Ragrut, do you want to roll a d10 and see if you can improve his roll? Eight. You know what? The 8 is actually better than the 5 in this case because it's still a success, but it will make your degrees of success more pokey. So Ragrut you don't need because you seem to be allied anyway and persuaded, but Jabir, Shazguth, Utarigna and Shagbok, do you want to make a resolve test? Synergize what you like? going to go into the world of degrees of success here.
Resolve with. Well, what would you resolve with?
Sort of awareness, as in keeping tactical awareness, or folklore, as in sort of like what you know about orcs and goblins. Doesn't matter too much as long as it makes sense.
Okay, I'll just do awareness.
Awareness, yeah. So keeping an eye on the tactical situation. Oh, a crit. Okay, Jabir, you're not persuaded by this at all. With a crit success.
Oh, that's so close.
It is close. So Shagbok, it kind of makes sense to you, this situation. But Utterigna, you've succeeded. And so it goes down to degrees of success. So Charles's degrees of success is 8 from the 89, plus it's your willpower bonus. No, hang on. No, it's not. It's guile. It's your fellowship bonus, which is 5. 13 is what Charles manages. How do you get on, Utterigna?
But I use the resolve, so I use the willpower.
Should be willpower,
bonus.
yeah.
I get 11 total.
Oh, that's a close one then. Now, anyone want to use a fortune point for rerolls to change their outcome?
I'll try one.
Yeah.
So I get I just re-roll it.
Yep.
Oh, worse.
Yeah, I mean it's a success. But...
Now I haven't used. Hang on, I haven't used any of my action points yet, and neither has my brother.
Correct.
Can I use a action point to try and help him, give him a D10, and say like, don't listen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can roll a D10, and then we'll apply that to Shagbok's roll. You might turn it into a success.
And you could maybe do that for me if you want to as well. So what do you get? Same 52.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind.
Falling on deaf ears, but yes, Shagbok. I mean, if you wanted, well, he's persuaded at the moment. Maybe he doesn't feel that inclined.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for.
It makes sense to do it, yeah.
No.
Unless I use the token to change mine.
You can if you want
save
to.
Them, save them.
It's up to you though.
Shazguth hasn't used any action points. She'll. Oh, but then I think she'd be on their side as well because she's obsessed with the. So I don't think she would use any assists. I don't think she would try and help us. I think she would be more likely to try and persuade us as well.
But can I just interject that anything to do with elves is a complete hatred for me?
It is.
Yeah, all of us, isn't it?
It is, but bear in mind.
It doesn't help if you don't do the roll.
Yeah, bear in mind, this is not a straightforward elf. This is a corrupted elf from what you are learning. And so, purebred elves of Sylvan and the elves of Lothlorien, fair game for your racial hatred, but this one clearly is a corrupted elf, a dark elf, if you will.
This is going off what what Charles Dickens is attempting to do, right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
To sort of stop, to pacify things, and say, "Come and join us." I think that's what he said, us, rather than.
Yeah.
the elf
Yes.
to be, and as he's already explained, I'm sorry to put words in your mouth, Leo, I don't mean to do that, but the way I see it is that he's already explained that it's, you know, this master who lives at the top of the tower who is the one in charge, and that it's just that I'm nothing in comparison.
Indeed.
Yeah, true.
That's all things to be borne in mind. Absolutely.
And I have a racial hatred of elves.
Yeah, you do. Well, yeah, you do. You can't stand them either. But it doesn't really
But you
apply.
don't tell me that.
Well, he probably shows it in non-verbal ways.
Yeah, maybe. When my back's turned, yeah,
Yeah, like that.
So should I use my
I can hear them talking about me.
use one of the tokens to see if I can get a better score on mine?
If you want to, of course you can. Yes, if you want to try and change what's happened to your resolve. At the moment, Utorigna is persuaded. Jabir is utterly not persuaded.
Will we
Shazguth
call
is
that his
persuaded.
herb derp of that moment?
Okay.
He just wasn't listening at all.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna use
absolutely.
one. I'll use one of the tokens.
Fair play.
And then re-roll it.
You can re-roll your resolve. Yeah. As this battle of wills
resolve.
continues.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Fucking hell.
Fuck's sake.
This does not seem to have in any way changed your view of things. You are minded to listen to what Charles has said and bear it in mind. Especially when you see, you know, Shazguth on the knees. Even your brother seems to have lost his spirit to a certain extent. Charles, is there anything else you want to do on your turn? You've seem to have been swaying things nicely, but anything else you want to do?
No, I think that's other than maybe repeat what I've said. Say, you know, you could have a hot meal, enjoy some company of some other of our types, and maybe meet the master if he's in a good mood.
Or a bad mood, as you want to look at it.
Yeah.
In that case, let's just play
Maybe
out.
in a bad mood after I've lost half of my herbs.
Yeah. Play out the turns here, then. I mean,
We'll find some more.
Shagbok, you know, what are you doing in this moment?
What am I doing? So you're saying I'm kind of persuaded by what Charles is saying.
Yeah, I mean, he's made a convincing argument, and your character of Shagbok is prone to see that. I mean, looking at it practically, this elf is this corrupted elf. He's as close to death as you can get without being dead. You know, he certainly knows his place. You know, and if there is an almighty powerful being, some shadow master in this this Black Fang, and he's a servitor of his, then it probably stands you in good stead not to murderize him right now, but maybe later.
But also, if I'm to stick to my true character, and I'm very much leading into the rebellion side of things, would I actually take notice of that?
That's entirely for you to play out. You're a player character and not an NPC. The dice have spoken and given you a clue as to how you sort of like respond. If you want to go full hog into lean into your rebellion, you can do so, but just bear in mind what your resolve test has said for your character. It's up to you.
Maybe I'll, put my go in before my brother because I was waiting for him.
Yeah, you can do that.
And I'll be like, that little Snaga does make a good point. I am hungry. Could get some dinner, and look at him. He's nearly dead. Just leave him there.
There's
And then
meat over there, brother. Meat in that bush just there. We don't need to go get hot food.
He looks sick. I don't want to be sick.
Sick. Okay.
And I'll spend an action point to do my move, which is 6 hexes.
Yep.
So I'll come up as far as... I'll say, come on, let's get some food first, and we'll sort him out later if he tries anything. And I'll try to, persuade my brother a bit more if he's not completely convinced. Because, we don't know this new Snaga. We just know that Ragrot's been talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll do... Do I need to do a persuade on my brother? I don't want to do an intimidate.
You can do if you want. He seems to be struggling with his, with how he feels about things at the moment, and confused about what he wants to do. He's clearly torn. You can see that. I'd rather role play it out than you can do it if you want a guide.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll do that. I'll save 1 action point. I'll just walk over, and I'll be like, I don't care about him. You can kill him later. Let's go and get some dinner. And I'll stroll over to here.
Okay. And Shagbok. Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously I trust my brother a lot. A lot. Not fully, but a lot. No, of course I trust my brother fully. I think he would. Yeah, you're right. I'm struggling with the fact that it's a fucking elf. Doesn't matter, especially when we've been following Shazguth, who I've been fucking hating because all she goes on about is the witch point.
And she's on her knees at the moment, going sort of the orc equivalent of Kumbaya, really.
Yeah.
So the tendency for Shazguth would be to just fucking not care. Taking into account the fucking resolve roll, I will really begrudgingly follow my brother.
Just stalk off haughtily, and head over to where your brother is.
And I will shout to Jabir to don't help that fucking elf, and I will drop off. So I've got 6 movements. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get next to my brother.
You certainly can.
Yeah.
Now, Deputy Shazguth, I'm happy to pitch in, but what would you like Shazguth to do? What do you think?
Kill the elf!
Go on. All
Joking.
Go on, Steve. What were you gonna suggest?
I mean,
I think she's just like into, like you say, she's been obsessed about getting here for weeks, and she's here.
Yeah. She's
not even gonna wait around. I guess if the boat is gonna go over, she'll be straight in the boat.
Yeah, I think so. She.
Sorry.
Yes, so go on, Ragnar.
I was going to say, can Jabir carry me over?
Well, we'll find out in a minute. I'm going to play out the end of this turn because just in case. Shazguth will stand up with muddy knees and adding another layer of filth to her what was once a white wedding
It is.
dress, but now is more grey and green and black. And I think she is just sort of like making her way in awe, standing by the water's edge, almost to the point where she just walks into the river, but then she sort of comes to and is just in awe, standing at the Black Fang, and she is holding up her pendant of the Witch Queen, and she sort of like kisses it and sort of like raises up her hands in supplication, and she says to you, this is where we were meant to be. This is where our great leader will reclaim her power, and she will return and lead us to victory. And she does a monologue. What would you like the hunting dog bug to do, Jabir, in all this? I mean,
he has 7 moves, so can he retrieve one of the black tridents that are stuck in the tree for me?
man,
Or is that too big?
no, I mean that thing is too massive, and it's it's sort of like half skewered the elf and then pronged into the tree. I mean, virtually turning him into a kelev kebab. But he hasn't got enough strength to be able to do that.
Muscles. Okay.
No.
Alright, I'll just have him go over to the tree
You go and piss on
and
it.
start taking a piss. Yeah.
I thought so.
Yep.
Classic dog move. Now then, Caleb, all this has been unfolding before your eyes, and you can see that the troll appears to be the only one who still harbours some brutal rage and resentment. The others seem to basically be heading off and ignoring you and leaving you. You are grievously hurt. What would you like to do?
Make contact with Shazgoth.
Yeah, she's...
He seems to be the only one that is speaking any sense.
Okay.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the only one of the interlopers
Hmm.
speaking any sense.
So I guess you want to head over to where you see Shazgoth, whom you can see is holding up an emblem of the Witch Queen, and is offering thanks. I mean, she's in the, probably on the fringes of the water there in the muddy, boggy sort of like part of it, which is just sort of like stinking mud here. And you can head over there and don't get too close to the troll, would be my recommendation. She eyes you as you head over. You've easily got enough movement to get up to her.
with a trident in my leg. I'm not sure about that.
It probably skewered you, but it would have been a fatal injury, but thankfully it isn't. I mean, I'm going to say that it is, you're not entirely a kebab, but it has taken a nasty chunk out of you.
Sure. So the result, as far as movement is concerned,
Yes, you are free to move. You're just leaving a lot of blood behind.
okay, cool. So I'll come up here. Noticing Shazgoth's demeanour when she's approached the tower. As you said, she was like under a spell of some kind, at least for a bit, in awe of the obelisk, and maybe hearing her words as I make my final approach. So you are an enlightened one, I take it. You know what this means.
she drags her eyes off the black stone obelisk of the abhorrent spray and looks at you askance with sly eyes and says, "Yes, it is a sign. It is a source of shadow power. It is destiny."
Well, then you are most coughing because of the wounds and blood loss and stuff. Then you are most welcome here in the house of Lachlin. I am his, some might say, apprentice.
She looks at the state of you. I know. Seems to me it might be wise for you to take some rest and get some treatment, apprentice or not. And smiles.
You're quite right. Shall we go? I've got a question about the coracle. I'm assuming that, given the size that they normally are, well, maybe that's a silly assumption, but there will be space for 2 max, maybe 3 max.
2 and 3 if they're small, and definitely not a troll.
Okay, so I'll suggest that Charles, Shazga, and I go back to Sarngorowen.
Very good.
Suggest.
Yes. And I would just like to open up the platform to Jabir, because he's the only person I think potentially is really in a potentially combative mood. Now, Jabir, having witnessed all this, what would you like to do?
He hasn't listened to the other Snagga. I don't know whether he would have listened to Shagbok telling him to not murderize this elf.
Okay. Sounds like you want to hurt.
And no
Derp,
one's
then.
really, and no one's really told me not to kill him. So let's see, herp derp.
Go for it, mate. Okay, all 3 are yours.
Shit. Okay, let's Well, considering the last elf tried to take my dog away.
Oh, okay.
let's move.
1 action point to stomp up and loom.
And let's splitting maul, single attack.
Okay. Now you do have a couple of action points for reactions, though, Caleb.
Yeah.
But are you going to do 1 attack or 2, or an aimed attack? What do you want to do?
Let's do an aimed attack.
I don't think Caleb has action points, does he? He would have spent 2 to get up and then 1 to move.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he had to rise from prone and then 1 to move. Fuck, no. You're right. Oh dear. I've misinformed you. No action points to spare. I'm sure it'll all be fine. Jabir. So, an aimed blow, 1 action point for aiming. That gives you plus 10. Go ahead and split the mauls.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Dear.
Well, I think we're going to burn through your fate points at this rate. So Caleb, even though you see that practically everybody has sort of like calmed and is, there's an uneasy truce. Not the case with this troll, who stomps over, raises his splitting maul, and brings it down upon you. Unfortunately, because of your terrible wounds that you've got, it's taken all your energy to get up and move and have your conversation. So it's 18 points of damage thus far, Jabir. Are you keeping it at that? There's one fortune point on the board.
Yeah, I'll keep it at that for a sec.
Okay. Right, no two bones about it. That's going to slay you. The only option that you have is to spend another fate point and tell me, how, Caleb, how is it that you're not dead? For the second time in the last 5 minutes.
It misses me.
Yeah, just somehow, maybe, almost, you were utterly convinced it was a true shot, sort of like Jabir. But then, almost unbelievably, your more just sort of like slams into the ground instead, and you do a bit of a double take, and your blow has gone wide. And just splats mud everywhere.
You can't
Steve,
make
I have
it
a
miss.
question.
You can still take the damage. You don't die, but
Oh.
you still take the damage.
No,
Do I get
good point.
fortune points?
You can use some in the pool because they're for the elements of for my side, so to speak. So I'm happy to grant you one. But very good point. Yes, it's a Rigna. We can't change the narrative that far. It doesn't just miss; it is going to hit. Can't undo it like that. It's hit you.
So then, if that's the case, then the character is dead, isn't it?
No,
Because it depends on damage.
no. Fate points can undo a death. We just have to come up with a convincing enough story.
So
You are hit, but perhaps we could explain this with a sort of like latent a spell ability, and powers of wind and magic sop up the vast majority of the blow. So you are hurt further, but not enough to slay you, and you continue to be grievously wounded and on your arse again. Back in the mud, and Shazgoth looks down at you. Yes, I think you
So
definitely
you'd
need
get
a
the
rest.
chance to do grievous injuries again, wouldn't you?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
entirely possible. So we could stick in some chaos dice. That's 3.
That's one.
That is definitely 1. Are you the kind of person who generates buy one get one free injuries?
I believe so.
Okay, then 2 grievous injury cards are yours.
Let me just very quickly read through.
I'm pretty sure you are. And then we'll have a break after that.
I can't find it now. Hang on. Yeah, here it is.
Nice! Buy one, get one. Yeah. Okay, so there are consequences to this. It's, more injuries are being generated. Somehow you are still clinging to life, Caleb, thanks to the mystical aid. But
Is that
draw 2 grievous injury cards or from the top. A vitreous hemorrhage. Until fully recuperated, you cannot see as you are blinded. Oh my god. And you have a punctured lung. You are in
Oh, I've had one of those.
a terrible way. You must undergo a successful surgery. So you're blinded by the force of the blow. You potentially risk having a drawback. And you are unconscious. So you are down on the ground in the mud,
Makes sense.
unconscious, but still alive, barely clinging to life.
Here, Shazgov, is that the type of rest you said he should need?
She looks down at the unconscious Caleb and says, "Well, he's definitely going to get some rest there in the mud."
Sam feels bad. Jabir, the last elf, tried to take his dog, so he's not leaving anything to chance.
Wasn't it an elven dog in the first place?
Possibly.
Yeah, it
probably
was. You
It
stole
was.
their
I
dog.
know
Still
it
there, dog. Yeah.
was the episodes, mate.
It's my dog now. They tried to steal my dog. It's simple as.
It had a name tag on it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it says bugger off.
So, after mutilating the elf Caleb and leaving his body, his unconscious form, in the mud, Shazgith will just sort of step over and start picking through it, and she starts handing out things that she doesn't want and grabbing spell components and reagents and saying to herself, "Finally, yes, finally." She starts grabbing things, and you go through his pockets, and I'll give you in detail what he has in a moment when you've got a chance to go through it all. I guess there's a little scene where, Charles, your misery is not over, because you have to ferry one by one everybody over in the little coracle. So there's a scene of, the coracle spinning around and you going back and forth. You're knackered at the end of this, but there's no way on earth that Jabir, you made it over in the coracle. How would you have got over, do you think?
Ooh, that's a good one. Are there a couple of trees nearby that I could cut down and create a bridge?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a massive sort of like tree not far away from the body of Caleb. You could push one over with your strength and sort of like collapse it over the narrowest part of the where the lake, starts to sort of like really pick up a bit of speed, and there's quite a few rocks as well, and you push the this massive tree trunk down over, and then you can tightrope walk over, and you do so without any. Well, there's some comedy moments, but you're able to get across. Just, I think, as Charles is ferrying over the last passenger, and then he starts to guide you up around the exterior of this huge, towering obsidian rock formation, and he leads you through to an area around to the north, where you see there are cunning stone steps chiseled into the rock itself, obscured by its natural formations, and you can start to climb up. And then there are 3 portcullises set up on a level. It's all very precarious. The 3 portcullises simultaneously open up, and Chuck, you would have been Chuck. Sorry, I called you Chuck then. Charles, Chuck. I don't want to get over familiar with you too soon. But the enormous troll, Simon.
Simon and Charles.
Yeah, and his twin brother,
Well educated here, you know.
Paul, have winched up the portcullis, without even you having to say anything. And you know, they allow you in. They look at these new arrivals. These, you know, they look in particular at Jabir, and the two Uruks, and Ragrat and the dog, a little bemused, but just seem to accept it all. And you find yourself in the interior of this massive stone tower, effectively. There is, in the centre of this room, as you can see, sort of inscribed this kind of runic circle, and then stacks of library books in shelves. This must be presumably Charles's places of work. There are statues dotted around, and chairs and tables, and there are these little cobbledy style goblins with books under their arms, going up and down ladders and shoving them in willy-nilly, much to your disgust, Charles. They're just shoving books in willy-nilly when you're not there to oversee operations. You generally have to spend the rest of the day undoing all the harm that these fanatical kobolds do to your carefully imposed book ordering system. The two trolls, Simon and Paul, just go back to sort of like standing at attention, and the portcullises close behind you. These find the right pointer. These three here behind you. These appear to be the only entryway in. But you did notice as you were making your way up the odd sort of window-like archway further up, and there is this massive stone stairwell making its way up. It's very gloomy inside, but there is some illumination coming from the eyes of these statues dotted around. There appear to be green gems casting a sickly light that illuminates the place in their eyes, which creates a rather bizarre techno atmosphere inside this towering library level. What would you like to do?
Is there anyone who
Where's the
looks
whole
like
food
they're
then?
in charge? Yeah. Is there like an important looking one?
Not that you can see. I mean, the trolls are clearly just door wardens and door operators. These kobolds are just scurrying around, randomly shoving books in. And of course, Charles the Snagger, with his basket of slightly reduced herbs.
Warm food? You said there's warm food.
Yes, we can get you some food, but maybe first I should go and see the master with his herbs.
What should we do?
Well, we want to see the master.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Our witch has led us here. Speak to your boss. So come on.
Yes.
Who do I call master now? Master. If he's master, what do I call you?
Me?
Still call everybody
No.
master.
Him. I have to call him master, otherwise he beats me up.
Ah. Yes, I had that problem with the elf.
Oh well, not anymore.
I will, as a really big step to Ragrat, and to show Charles that Ragrat is still like higher than Charles, I'll say to Ragrat, from now on you can call me Uterigna.
Whoa!
Yes, master. I mean, Uterigna.
There we go.
He looks a bit stunned. He looks like really quite stunned. Yes, master. Regna.
Don't make me hit you.
It's at this
Hey.
it's at this point, as you are restructuring the very nature of your goblin hierarchy and orc hierarchy, there is the sound of footsteps echoing from the spiraling stone staircase, and emerging at the bottom is this figure. Let me just pop him up.
Oh, handsome chap.
Isn't he though?
It's not another elf, is
Another,
it?
another elf.
He is not
My
an
accent's
elf.
out.
No.
Oh, okay.
He is quite clearly, originally, probably a man, but no longer. He takes the form of a of a shadow creature, part demon, part lich. He exudes shadow energy. It almost trails behind him. He has these long calamshite robes of obsidian black. It seems to be the style around here. But also, various accoutrements, almost sort of like hanging off his person, little symbols, and you would see there's a sort of a silver tuning fork sort of embroidered into his dark cloak that has clearly been woven from some kind of large furred black creature, maybe a black bear perhaps, and other various small strange trinkets woven into its very fabric. But this black mist almost trails around behind him like some kind of bizarre wedding trail perhaps, and he almost floats down the stairs, and he has this enormous presence and sort of like sense of confidence about himself. This is Charles, the master Larglin or Lakelin, and it's rare to see him actually bother to come downstairs, but clearly something has, what has happened outside has not gone from his notice, and he sort of wafts over towards you, and
How are you spelling his name?
Larglin is Lhachglin. I'll put it in the chat. And now I'm going to create an entirely new accent. Mustn't do Welsh. He eyes you all. And
Ragrat hide. Ragrat's gonna hide behind Master Utterigna.
you're really going to struggle with that, aren't you? It's going to be Master Rigna for a while.
Yeah, and that I'm not even putting that on because I've got so used to saying it.
All right.
His voice has this soft, rolling cadence. God, it's Welsh, isn't it? But a
Voice.
strong,
Scottish.
baritone timbre, and his eyes.
What about Brommy?
God, no.
Irish.
Speak like that, don't they, Lakeland? No, I can't do that. His eyes are just black like coal. No pupil, no colour, just these black holes. And there's almost this faint black mist coming from them. He exudes raw, dark essence. And he takes you all in. in one gaze, and then he speaks and he says, "Charles Darwin, what have you found?"
I found these fellows whilst hunting for your herbs. They disturbed us, and well, your assistant is somewhat unwell, I would say now. He's unconscious over the other side.
He
But
heaves
they
a
seem
sigh.
to wanted to come and visit you. This witch type thing has sent them on a mission to find you.
He furrows his brow. The newcomer?
The newcomer, yes.
Where is he?
I think he's unconscious, but he's over the other side of the lake. The big fella there caused the trouble.
He looks over at Jabir. I mean, does Jabir have anything to say for himself?
Absolutely nothing. He just shrugs.
Paul! And he looks over at one of the two trolls. Paul, go upstairs. Tell Ringo he is to retrieve the body of the interloper, our new guest, immediately. And Paul, sort of like automatically, stops slouching, and heads up the stairs. And he's just bodily shoving himself up the corridor. You think, Jabir, that you could just about make it up there, but it would be a squash and a squeeze, and you'd be scraping the walls all the way up. And you hear Paul doing exactly that, and he heads off upstairs. Yes, master.
Can I want to grab hold of like Shazgoth's hand and come forward and bring her forward and say, Master Laglin, our witch here has led us to meet you to see if we can help each other, and like kind of shove her forward a little bit.
And she was, she allows herself to be pulled along by you because she knows that's probably a very bad idea not to. And she is in awe of this figure, and Laglin looks down upon her. She's 4'0", and he must be all of the best part of maybe 7 feet tall. And he sort of like prefers his hand, almost as if he's offering it out like a king, and Shazgoth doesn't know what to do with herself. But then he reaches a little further, and he grasps the pendant that she has around her neck, and he examines it. And then he pulls it off her, much to her sort of displeasure, but she daren't say anything. And he looks at it carefully. Says, I see. Shazgoth plucks up the courage to sort of warble out. I had a vision, Master Liege. We were sent here by the Witch Queen. And he looks at the pendant and then sort of hands it back to her, almost with disdain. And he says, yes, I have no allegiance to this queen of yours. She has, I believe, sent this Celebkalima to me, hoping to inveigle himself into my presence. I am glad that you, Jabir, have put him in his place in the mud. What is it you all seek? Where have you come from?
I'm from Lusberg, Kameth Bryn. And we're looking for a new clan.
I see. There are remnants of the clan, of clans here in Mirkwood. There are many that reside here within the mountains. They fight and squabble with each other. They're of little concern to me. I have here, and he casts his hands about, over to the kobold fanatics who are currently hanging off the top of the bookshelves because one of the ladders has slipped, sort of like slightly. I have my servants. They serve me well. Perhaps you'd care to join us?
Maybe. And we have a look
jumping up and
around
down
first.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Step.
We are looking for somewhere to
Tegna.
join. What?
Tegna.
What?
I think we should. Should. Just
We
start
should.
hopping up and down from one foot to the other.
What's the terms? Do you have a contract or something?
Food. Hot food.
Sort of.
Food.
Yeah, we're all pretty hungry.
Well, of course, you must be. We must see to that. Charles!
Yes, master.
Put down that basket and escort these denizens. Take them to the kitchen and make sure they are well fed. As for these terms, what is your name, Uruk? He says, looking at you, Utarigna.
I'm Utarigna, and this is my half-brother, Shagbok.
Shagbok. I see.
Can I, while this is going on, just look at the other sort of guys that are around? I want to see if they think that this is fine, new people coming to join, or if we're like stepping on their toes.
Well, glancing over at Simon, you see he's got a very herpy-derpy look on his face. You recognise it. I'll let Chuck describe his own expressions for himself. And the kobolds seem to be taking very little notice thus far.
Okay.
Can we insight this guy as well? Insight check him.
Of course you can. Yeah, if you want to roll, you can do a scrutinise and synergise any other form of skill that you think is relevant here.
Awareness.
Awareness will do, yeah.
It's totally fine here.
Scrutinise, awareness as well.
Ragrat,
I agree.
Ragrat, I'll have a go.
Yeah, go on.
Right, hold on, what are we doing?
Scrutinise, synergised with whatever you wish that's relevant.
Awareness.
And Jabir, are you paying any attention to this, or are you in a herped up? Oh no,
Yes, I am.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Okay, so as it stands, then, Utarigna's rolls as they are right now, are finding it hard to read him unless you want to spend any of the remaining tokens that you have. You've got one in the pool
No,
left.
because I'm ambitious. This is sounding all good to me. It's like a good place that we can join. We can get in with the top guy.
Yep.
I think his ambition would just stop him from worrying too much about it.
Fair enough. So you're just going to go with that roll. Shagbok, do you want to re-roll, or do you want to keep it as it is?
Shazga.
You do one for Shazworth. Shagbok, do you want to take that re-roll, or do you want to leave it as is?
I'm tempted to re-roll it.
Then you'll have to use that one in the pool.
Where is it? can't see
It's
it.
literally in the pool of water there.
Yeah, we can't see out the
Can't
windows.
see them.
Ah, because of the windows. All right, hang on. I'll flip it for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I forgot about the windows.
That would do a reroll. Scrutinize with awareness.
Crit. Wow.
Crit
Okay.
success.
So
Wow.
tell me what it is you're looking for and what you're trying to glean, what you're trying to read here.
I'm trying to work out if this, I don't know, is this guy for real? Is he not really anything to do with the Witch Queen, or would I tell if he's got any other plans in mind? Do
Okay.
you trust him?
Is he
All right.
going to do us over?
Yeah.
And Jabir and Shazguth, what are you hoping to glean from your reading of him? What do you think Jabir is?
I think for Jabir, it's that if he chooses to leave, will he be hunted down?
Okay.
After all, he's a fucking Oleg and rather valuable, I guess. Just with his size and strength.
Yeah. Fair point. And what about for Shazguth, Deputy Shazguth?
Yeah, because this guy said he doesn't care about the Witch Queen, right?
Yeah.
So, and she is like a zealot, right? She's quite like fanatical about the Witch Queen. So I guess her thing that she's looking for is to see like, does this guy outdo the Witch Queen? You know what I mean? Like, is it realistic to think that she could switch sides and going with this guy would be better, joining this guy's team would be better for her?
Okay. Right. So I'm going to go with Shagbok first because you critted. So, immediately you gleaned that it's entirely truthful what he says. The way he handled that pendant, you got a sense that he recognized it for what it was. That he is not intimately or directly connected to the Witch Queen, but he knows of her. And, he made that remark about, the interloper Caleb having something to do with her. And that was entirely truthful. He really does. He's an independent lich, and he doesn't give a shit about no Witch Queen. He has got a cushy place here. He's isolated. He seems to sort of like be living his own best lich life, away from the rest of the troubles outside in the beyond into the Wilderlands. He's isolated here. You get a sense that he is incredibly old. Incredibly old. Now, is there any of your questions that I haven't answered with that?
No, but do any of us actually, like, is the Witch Queen like a person, like this guy is a person, or is it like more like a myth, like Jesus? We've all heard of him, but the likelihood of him appearing to us is pretty slim. You know what I mean? Like, is it a physical person that we know? Oh, she lives over there and she's pretty powerful and that.
Now, Shazguth is one of the few people who have, and Ragrat actually, are one of the few people who have actually seen the Witch Queen. She is real, but she's
okay.
She's. You saw her sort of like once on the battlefield having words with various orc chieftains and commanders, and then she's almost sort of like appeared and then sort of like disappeared. So she has immense power. She is real, but she tends to operate more through others than directly herself. And Jabir,
Okay.
you know, you don't get the sense that you don't get the sense with your success that you're immediately going to be sort of like hunted down if you decide to leave here, unless you do something particularly to sort of like upset the locals. That's your hunch.
Righty.
Okay, and the other thing, have any of us actually heard of this guy once he says his name?
I'll take a folklore roll from everyone at standard.
Scrutinise that with education or something.
Why is it that? Synergize with
Yeah,
education?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
A success.
Can't even find folklore.
Wow.
Oh, there it is.
Another success.
3 successes so far.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
No, you haven't. But Jabir has, Shagbot
Oh,
has,
Shazbot.
Utarigna has. Of course Charles has, because, you know, he's been working for him for the whole of his life,
Oh,
practically.
let me do one for Shazgath as well.
Yeah, do one for Shazgath.
Oh, what is it again? Folklore. Synergize.
Crit!
Wow,
Oh.
crit, okay.
Great, wow.
Okay, so I'll speak to Shazgath first on this, because she has the deepest insight, and, you know, Shazgath, yes. Laidlin is, from what you can piece together, probably the last surviving lieutenant of Sauron the Great. He was one of his agents, dark agents in Mirkwood. Therefore, he must be several millennia old at least. And you have definitely read about in various dark texts the name of Laidlin in connection to Sauron. He was instrumental in assisting Sauron in reclaiming Dol Guldur when he escaped from incarceration. He assisted in the release of the 9 Nazgul. There's all kinds of legends attached to him. You can't quite believe he's there, but he is there. You know, it's like what you have read in the ritual pages of your dark arcane textbooks has come to life. Likewise, the others would have heard of old stories told, you know, of battles past when Sauron rose to power in the Third Age, and have heard of Laidlin's name in connection to him.
Okay. And if the Witch Queen and Laidlin were in a fight, who do we think would win?
Got my money on
That's
him.
whose team I want to be on.
Well, Shazgath is torn because, of course, she is a devotee
Witch
to
Queen
the Witch Queen.
fan, yeah.
However, even she would privately admit, maybe might even say, you know, if questioned, that Laidlin all day long.
Oh yeah, I'm joining this guy's team. You know, and Utarigna would think that, you know, I want to join his team because he's powerful and he's here. You know, now if we went off on our way and bumped into the Witch Queen and she was like, right, ditch that guy and join my team, I'd probably do that for that time as well. Just whoever I was nearest. For now,
No
yeah,
loyalty.
no. It's whatever gets me to the top of the food chain. Right now, it's this fella.
And I
No,
think
Ragbrat's whatever gets him to the food.
Well, right now, that's this fella.
Yeah.
Throughout all this internal sort of like inspection, Laglin is just kind of looking through you all. It's like he sort of like sees beyond you into the dark veil that lies beyond, like he has a sight beyond sight almost. It gives him, especially as he has no pupils, it gives him a really uncanny, detached air. And his gaze falls upon Shazguth, and we see Shazguth, who is still holding onto the pendant that he gave back to her, and she just loses her grip on it. It slips from her hand and just clatters to the floor, and she rises to her feet and steps forward to Laglin, and he prefers his hand again as he did before. She takes it and brings her lips to his white, emaciated knuckles, kisses an ebon ring upon his finger, and he places his hand on her head and says, "My child, you have chosen wisely. Now, Charles."
I thought he was going to say my bride, wasn't it?
Thought about it for a second, I'm not going to lie. Charles, take them to the kitchens. Let them eat, and we will talk when they are full.
Okay, master, to the kitchen.
Ragrat's very excited now. I'll go first. I want to go first. Charles, I'll come with you.
Cue a scene of Argy Bargy as you all rush down the stairs.
Calm down. There's enough for all of you.
Those lot who can fit down the stairs rush down the stairs.
Breathe in, Jabir.
You're right at the back, really. Possibly Simon might herp along behind you and sort of, let me give you a hand. And he just sort of like helps shove you down the first bit. There you go, mate. And he steps back to do his guard. And there's also a terrible moment when Ringo's coming up the stairs.
You're gonna squash us.
Oh no, fucking hell. And there's a bit of a protracted scene, really, of negotiation of a reversing troll, and then you emerge downstairs to partake of a hearty meal. And that's where we're going to leave off and pick up next time. Woof!
It all seems quite cosy.
Yeah.
Mm.